You know, it's tough being a fan of a character, specifically if you're a fan of a female character, because there's always been constant attacks from haters because there's always a belief that another female character is much better than this female character, and then there's this other female character. Granted, it's not only female characters, a bunch of other male characters, but like in the One Piece community, it's just an awful debate time and time again about certain characters, why people love certain characters, why people hate certain characters, and then there's times when people have such terrible and horrible takes that just make you really not want to be part of the One Piece community. And most people, including myself, tend to just ignore those people who talk shit about a certain character, your favorite character, because a lot of times it's illogical. It's a dumb take, and it's not something that you want to believe in. It's not something that what they're saying is right, and you just move on. You just ignore them. You ignore the haters. However, there are times when there are some takes that you just really need to respond back to. You really need to make videos about that. You really need to let people know, because some of these takes are just so horrendously bad to the point that you're no longer just trying to defend your own character or put down another character. You're just trying to make them look like terrible pieces of shit that make you feel bad and make you look disgusting to basically be a fan of. I'm a Nami fan, and this is specifically talking about argument over on Twitter concerning about Nami, and it's this bizarre take that Nami is some sort of pedophile. If you're not on Twitter, if you don't know much about like this Twitter thing that's happening about this argument, a group of people, I believe they are fans of Hancock, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not trying to say that Hancock fans are miserable. I'm not trying to hate on Hancock fans. I have no issue with Hancock fans. I guess the idea is that people, including Nami fans, like to call out that Hancock is technically a pedophile for liking Luffy during the pre-time skip when he was 17 and she was 29. She fell in love with him. She called him a brat, called him a child in the manga, and then, it's really weird that all of a sudden she falls in love with him, and then, the age gap is so suspicious, so sus that, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. The weird thing is that instead of being like, well, it's not like Luffy reciprocated her feelings, and Oda wouldn't do anything until like after the time skip where Luffy is 19 instead of 17, and then eventually something could happen if Oda decides to go the Luffy Hancock route. But instead of that, you go straight to defending your character, straight to calling the other female character that you supposedly hate a pedophile because of a few scenes regarding Momo. The scenes in question that they're referring to are from a chapter during the Zou arc where Momo, if you actually read the manga and see the panels beforehand instead of just copying and one panel to try to prove your point, show that Momo jumps into Nami's chest, and like what a child do when he's scared and stuff like that. And they took this as a way of saying that Nami is a pedophile and a groomer because of a gag that is presented. I think a lot of people in the One Piece community tend to forget that there's a lot of gags in the story. There's a lot of gags that shouldn't be taken seriously, that they shouldn't be taken more than what they are. Gags. It's supposed to be comedy. Now, granted, some people might not like that sort of comedy. I understand that. I personally don't like perverted comedy as much as I probably used to maybe when I was younger. I don't like perverted comedy anymore because it just feels weird. It just feels awful. It just feels ugh, Some fans, in order to shit on certain characters, tend to take certain panels and make your character feel like they are worse than being the worst character ever written because of like some false accusations that don't exist. And that's what's been happening on Twitter. Here are some of the tweets, some of the posts. I'm not going to highlight who this person is. I know some people will be like, well, you should, because it's to call out their bullshittery, to call out their, their nonsensical takes who they have to go after, but I'm not someone who basically goes online to tell people to go hate on this person, respond to this person in a way. But these are some of the tweets. Frankly, it's a little worrisome. It's a little disgusting that people would accuse this for a character that has been known specifically during the post time skip that she cares for children. She cares for small kids. In fact, even Oda said that if Nami was in the real world, her real job would be to take care of kids in like a nursery, in like elementary school, that kind of stuff. She hates people who treat kids very badly. Like, she hates Caesar for what she did to the Punk Hazard kids. And you have the gall to say that Nami, who cares about children's well-being, to be a groomer and a pedophile. Also, I just want to point out that the image that they're using as proof and evidence of Nami being a pedophile and a groomer, no Nami fan likes his image. We don't like it. We think it's crude. We think it's bad. We don't like that Oda drew this. And you're claiming this as proof when that's not what this is. If you look at the panels before this, you see that Momo's the one that jumps into Nami's chest. Nami's just hugging him because what's she going to do? Give her breast? No, she can't. This is why this is just such a bad claim to say this about a character who really cherishes children. She really does. She hated what Caesar did to the Punk Hazard kids. And if you want to use this as proof, you could also use the proof that Robin is the same thing, because guess what? Momo hugged Robin in a very similar situation, this time with just a towel on as she's walking out of the bathroom. Cool. But here's the thing. No one's going to use that with Robin because the agenda is not towards Robin. It's towards Nami specifically, because there's some sort of hatred that these people who are making these claims have against Nami. And from what I have seen by browsing through their Twitters, is that they are Hancock fans. And I don't want to generalize Hancock fans because I know there's some very good Hancock fans out there. All right. But this is just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous proof that they're claiming they have. It's ridiculous. Twitter has become such a cesspool of people who make terrible takes just to get arguments, just to create controversy that isn't there. It's just to get views. It's to get feedback. It's just to get clout. The clout chasing is such a terrible thing that has happened in social media, in Twitter specifically. It's just disgusting. It's just rude. It's just wrong. And people who are fans of some of these characters feel insulted because the people who are usually attacking these characters don't know their character. I have constantly always have defended Nami, even on streams and videos, that Nami, while she loves money, isn't a greedy gold-digging whore that many people apparently think she is. She's not. You claim that she's always about money, when clearly it shows that Nami is willingly to give up any sort of money to save people she cares about. For example, Kami. She was willing to give up all the money to save her. Nami always cared about her friends over money. She may like money. Who doesn't? I like money. You like money. Does that make me a gold digger? Does that make you a gold digger? No, it does not. It seems like gold digger is a word that's just been thrown around that nobody understands what it means anymore. I think no character, regardless of who they are, unless they're really pieces of shit character who do some really fucked up shit, like actual fucked up shit, should be called out on. Because it is weird that Hancock at 29 falls in love with a 17-year-old. It is weird. It's incredibly weird. If it happened in real life, you will probably be pissed off too. You'll probably be angry. Nami, the hate on Nami's character, I usually just ignore. I usually don't talk about it because it's the same stuff over and over again. It's just that this is one of those takes that's just like, that came out of the blue. I woke up, saw Twitter, saw what Nami was basically trending about, and it's just like, oh my goodness gracious. People don't understand the characters that they read, and they only view the characters based off the hate, based off like their own preference, and it just ruins the characters in general. Like, I don't hate Hancock. I don't hate Hancock. I do disagree, and I don't like the idea that, she kicks animals. I think she has a very bad personality when it doesn't revolve around Luffy. That's a flaw. Every character has a flaw. Other than that, I don't mind her as a character. It's just really terrible takes like these that get me like more annoyed than anything. And it's tiresome for myself and other people to defend, and just, it shouldn't be the case. You should be calling out different flaws of characters that make sense. That, Nami is weak. Nami should be more brave because she's stronger than what she needs to be. That's one of her flaws. I don't like that flaw. But guess what? It's one of her flaws, and it makes her Nami. Those are the types of things you could attack. But calling her a groomer and pedophile when it's not even true one bit is just wrong, and you're just being an angry, petty person. You're just being an angry, petty person. It's weird, you know? It's weird. It's a weird age gap that would make anybody uncomfortable, fictional or not. But in the end, One Piece is fictional. These are fictional characters, so I would not put too much on it, to the point where you call out some of these characters and then call out these fans of being fans of a groomer or of a pedophile. It's not worth it. It's not worth having these sort of arguments. That's just what I want to talk about. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to the channel if you like the content and like the video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.